Hello YouTube, NPC Killer here with another game review. Now the game that I have chosen to do is called SmashMuck Champions, and it's made by Kiz Studios, which is a K-I-Z Studios. The game type is an action massive multiplayer 45-degree angle camera, and it is free to play. So here's a little bit of footage. I hope you enjoy, and I'm going to rate this and let you watch this so you get an idea of what the gameplay is about. So enjoy.
Mercy.
Are about to get crushed. I mean smashed. Yeah, smashed. That's it. I'm kind of tired. did not see that coming. Somebody just got smashed. Got a bit of bad news to report. The old timer Smash still used to regularly get into the campaign after the organizer of legendary chicken and gravy hostile came down with a nasty case of pickle worm and had to be put down. Our deepest condolences to the hostile family. Oh, somebody just got smashed.
I'm God!
No mercy.
Here comes the next challenge. Collect 20 batteries.
Alright, and we're back. Now, the way I do my rating system is I got 10 categories: graphics, controls, concepts, replay value, wait time / loading, sound, enjoyment, interface, map / design, and challenge. So I rate each one through a 1 through 10, 1 being worst, 10 being the best, and then I take them, add them up, and divide them by 10 to give you the average overall score. So, the first thing I have here is graphics, which I put as an 8 because the graphics are a cartoon model. They are crisp and clean and bright. There's nothing to complain about besides the typical high-tech game thing now, which, you know, a lot of games suffer from what I call SSS, which is shiny shit syndrome. And, you know, it's just the textures are a little bit shiny, which, you know, in due time they will get rid of. Thank you. The next thing I have is controls. The controls are kind of a pain at first to learn because there's not like a lot of them. You got WSD, but you also have to use 1, 2, and 3. And I believe maybe you gotta reach all the way down to 0, but that's, you know, occasionally. I just literally just went through and was like, yeah, we're not doing this, and remapped it because I got a lot of keys on my mouse, so I just remapped it to the keys on my mouse. So I put, you know, the 1, 2, and 3 on my mouse, and then that way I don't have to reach up because my keyboard's not maybe the best to play games on, but it works for the time being until probably January. But on that note, the controls in game they're okay. Just mainly because you got WASD in 1, 2, and 3 for the most part. The hardest part is actually reaching while trying to go forward. You know, just trying to hit W and 2 at the same time, and your finger just gets in the way. You know, it's kind of a pain that way. But other than that, I mean, the controls were okay. So I did give it a 6, and then, you know, for that reason. The concept of the game is really not a new one, but it is a revamped old one. Basically, it's an old one with a new storyline and abilities and, you know, stuff like that. This does not really take away from the fun of the game. There are many characters to unlock, and, you know, time-consuming things that you can actually do in there, you know, to boost up and level up your character. There's a lot of stuff like in-game money. You can spend in-game money on things like weapons, skills, and decor to pimp out your character, you know, or whatnot. And then again, being a free-to-play, you can actually pay real money, get their currency, and then trade that currency for in-game items. So with the concept, I did give it a 7 because, again, it's old concept, but it's revamped. It's a lot like, kind of like Dota and League of Legends, but it's, again, revamped, and it's really fun to play. So, and then speaking of real fun to play, the replay value is next, which I did give it a 6, because I don't get me wrong, as I don't play games like this very often, but I can see myself replaying this. The replay I rated a little low because the game modes get boring. There's not a lot of people playing them, and then when the game gets out of beta, I'm sure it'll be, you know, it'll pick up a little bit, you know, and people be more willing to join other game modes that are not so popular instead of just playing just the popular ones like Capture Point and the Complete the Objectives game mode, which both of those are relatively, you know, fun. You know, so I did give that a little bit lower one. The next one is probably the lowest one of it all because I'm very impatient and waiting. The wait time for this game is really high, in my opinion, for game-wise. The initial loading is not too bad, but getting into a game or a match with somebody can be, you know, time-consuming. The wait time to play an online match is a little long if you're only willing to play one game mode, and if it happens to not be the game mode that everybody's playing, you know, it kind of, you gotta wait till a couple other people join. So, for example, I waited 10 minutes before I switched to game modes to get into a game. So in that 10-minute time, I just walked away from the computer and come back 10 minutes, and I was like, oh wow, I'm still not in the game. Well, we'll just, you know, screw that, and, you know, we'll put all the game modes on there so we can get into a game right now. So, so with that in mind, if there's no one to play that game mode, you're pretty much SOL. Waiting on more people, or waiting on the more popular game modes, take around about 3 to 4 minutes to join, plus the grace time for selecting a character, which is about a minute. All in all, it's about 5 minutes before you can play sometimes, or a little bit less, a little bit more, you know, depending. So that's why I did give that a 4. Now, the sound of this game is the sound of music that were chosen to premiere in this game were a surprise to me. When I recorded the game, I had my surround sound turned off, so I couldn't hear the game, but it was recording sound. So I did not hear the game until I actually started watching the playback. So I was like, hey, this is actually really good music, and the sounds aren't like, they're not overpowering or annoying. They're not too repetitive, and they're not, there's a variety of them, and they don't overpower the game or nothing. So I did give it an 8 for the sound. The next thing on my list is enjoyment. My overall enjoyment for SmashMuck was rather high for this game. I can see myself playing for an hour here and there, not being able to decide on what game I want to play, so I would jump to this and be like, oh yeah, we'll start playing it for, I'll be like, oh, I'll just play this for about 5 minutes, a match or two, whatever. And then end up 3 hours later, down the road, here I am still playing SmashMuck. So it's something that once you start playing, it's kind of hard to stop, but it's still, it's not going to be the #1 thing on your list unless you like games like this. So I know people go out and play games like this every day. They're like, every day, and they're just like, oh yeah, this game is freaking awesome, man. But just as an average, not everybody's like that. So I'm going to say for the overall enjoyment, I did give it an 8 because again, I could see myself playing it. Now the next thing on my list is the interface. The interface I only give a 5. The playing interface is really not hard to understand. It don't clutter up too much of your screen, and with useless information that you could care less about. The shop and other menus and other out of the arena menus and interfaces are, on the other hand, they're overly complicated. Although there's a short tutorial that kind of shows you how to play, but you could still get lost in a mess. So that's why I did give it a 5. So because it is a little bit of frustration when you just started and you're trying to figure out what everything does, and you follow a tutorial, but sometimes it just maybe you missed a part, or it just didn't explain enough for you. So you're trying to stumble around everything, you're trying to figure out what everything is. So again, the out of arena menus are a little rough. So just be careful of that. The next thing I have is the maps. Map and design for this game were pretty, intense. In SmashMuck, the maps are small, but they're really fun to play. There are only a few maps right now, but as with most games later to come, I'm sure they'll add more, I hope. The layout of the maps are cool because they flow real well, and they have plenty of detail, and from fire strips to random NPCs sitting on the side, yelling at you. Lighting in general, the random placed objects like a generator or a electric coil or whatever. The maps are run pretty well and they look pretty decent. So I did give that an 8 for overall for that. So I was pretty impressed with that. With that in mind, it does take into the challenge. The challenge of SmashMuck depends on really who you're playing with and what map you're playing on. If you get put up against somebody that is a super high level, you'll have to try it out, smart them. But if not, again, you could probably end up smashing somebody else. But if you usually if you hit like a random game, you get roughly in your area of levelness. So it's pretty good at matching you up for that. So with that, I did give the challenge an 8 because depending on who you're with and what you're playing on, what game mode, it could be a challenge, but again, it could be fun. So with that in mind, taking out all the scores, adding them up, and dividing them by 10, it gives you a total of 6.8, which for a game is pretty high, for a free-to-play game, because usually, but this one's, this basically means the game is okay to play. I recommend going out and, it's a free-to-play game, so it's not going to cost you anything but your time, unless you actually decide to invest into the game a little bit. So the game is worth playing. I mean, go check it out, look at the links in the description, whatever, and then, with that, you have a basic idea of what the game, overall score is. So 6.8 is not too bad. The worst one you could be is obviously 1, or the best one would be a 10, but I don't ever see those happen unless one comes out that is super awesome. So 6.8 is final set in stone for this game review. Now, if you have a game you want me to review, especially if it's a free-to-play on Steam, it can only be, right now, video games that are on PC, because that's what I have. I don't have a Roxio. But feel free to leave it in the comments and leave like a link to their website that I can get the game. Or if you have a game, I've done game reviews before on games that are not even complete, but they asked me to do game reviews on forum. So or I can do a walkthrough, or whatever, or let's play. So it doesn't matter. Just if you have something, leave it in the comments, send me a personal message. It doesn't matter. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Woo! That helps out a lot. And tell your friends, pass around, whatever, and like and subscribe, comment. It's all appreciated. I do read all my comments, and I will reply to them in orderly fashion. So with that, this is NPC Killer, and I'll see you next time.